violence. And I believe that we are in a situation where each one seems to be groping in the dark. There's a certain sense of loss. People are trying to find their feet in this new environment. Life expects responsibility from us and asks us to give the best of ourselves in the circumstances. Our following of Christ the Good Shepherd should enable us to have more compassion and concern for the vulnerable. These are the moments to mind the life of children. May the Lord give us the courage to care for each other and to be brave together, knowing that we are not alone. For the Good Shepherd, who shed his blood for us, is with us to give us an assurance of life to the full.
Oh my, oh my, oh my days. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Never understood. Never understood. Life can be this good.
This is NTV.
Good afternoon. I hope you're having yourself a restful, rejuvenating Sunday afternoon. My name is Burrows and you're watching NTV at 1. Let's start with the latest on the COVID-19 pandemic. And 90% of Nairobi residents living in low-income areas are willing to test for the virus. A survey report conducted by TIFA Research to measure the level of awareness of COVID-19 among 579 residents of selected low-income areas in Nairobi, however, revealed that 45% fear the testing procedure. The findings indicate that 15% of the respondents fear social stigma if found positive, with 11% fearing forceful quarantine. 4% fear the medical costs associated with the virus treatment. The study also shows that respondents are less concerned about the medical risks stemming from the COVID-19 virus than they were at the end of April. To the latest in politics, and armed goons have attacked Ford Kenya party headquarters here in Nairobi, leaving behind a trail of destruction. And that is as the party finds itself caught up in supremacy battles that threaten to tear it apart. Vincent Odor is on the scene, and we now join him for more information. Vincent, are the security agencies on hand?
Absolutely. What I can tell you, Olive, is that it all started at 10 in the morning when a number of armed goons tried to access the party headquarters here in Nairobi along Ole Dume Road. And the members, or the Kenya members who are in the party headquarter offices, denied them access because the gate had been closed. And speaking to some of them, they're saying that, about 80 people armed, and they were using motorbikes, they were being ferried to this place using motorbikes. And now, because the gate had been closed, they started now throwing stones into the compound over the gate and also using batons. And they've destroyed a number of things. There are broken glasses, they've broken chairs. And but the people who are inside here, who are members of Ford Kenya, managed to repulse the goons. And, you know, most of them or all of them managed to run away. But as you can see, I can show you some of their tools of trade. You know, they managed to leave back some of their tools of trade. You know, they were using batons and, you know, and even, you know, stones. And these are some of the things that they were using to carry out the attack. But nobody has been injured during this attack. And they know, and the officials whom I spoke to here, they say they believe these are people who are allied to the other faction, because, you know, there are two factions in Fort Kenya. The one that is being led by the party leader, Moses Wetangula, and the other one that is being led by the alleged new party leader, Wafula Munyinyi, who is Kandui Member of Parliament, and the Secretary General, Eseli Simiyu. And these two factions have been fighting fighting to control Fort Kenya party. And therefore, you know, the other faction that was being led by Wafula Munyinyi and Eseli Simiyu have been operating from a high-end hotel in Nairobi, and they've always wanted to start operating here at the party headquarters, because the other faction being led by Moses Wetangula is the one that has been operating from this party headquarters. And therefore, the two factions have been fighting over these party headquarters offices, because each faction wants to operate from here, and that has become another big battle. Remember, this is a battle that has gone to the courts, it has gone to the registrar of political parties, and also we are now here at the party headquarters on really who are supposed to be the genuine party leader or leaders of Fort Kenya. And therefore, this is something that will go on for quite some time as we continue to move forward. What you had asked about the security officers, they came here, and right now being told investigation is ongoing, but no goon has been arrested, nobody has been arrested, nobody has been injured. And what is happening right now is that the members who are allied to Moses Wetangula are here at the party headquarters, you know, manning this place, and they have vowed they are not going to allow anybody, as far as the other factions concerned, to access these party headquarters. And they're insisting that if they want to really continue purporting to be leaders of Fort Kenya, then they will continue operating from the high-end hotel here in Nairobi. For now, that is it. I'm taking you back to studio.
Thank you, Vincent. Gratefully, no one was injured in that incident. And as Vincent said, investigations are ongoing. To matters education now, and as the cabinet, or rather as colleges prepare to reopen this September, the Cabinet Secretary Magoha has embarked on a countrywide fact-finding mission to establish the level of preparedness. Yesterday, he was in Bungoma County at the Kibabi College, and during his tour of the college, Magoha said that by strictly adhering to the protective measures required, the students will not put themselves at risk of contracting COVID-19. According to Magoha, most colleges are yet to meet the required standards, adding that Kibabi is the only college that has met at least 70% of the government regulations on reopening in September. President Uhuru Kenyatta last week authorized the Ministry of Education to reopen TVETs and colleges that will have put up proper measures to curb the spread of the virus. Only students in their final year will be allowed into the institutions.
Directed by His Excellency the President himself, to ensure that as we consider opening the teacher training colleges, we ensure that they are prepared by the protocols that are given by the Ministry of Health, of course adopted by from WHO. By and large, of the 4 facilities that I've seen so far, this one is the one that is nearest to completion for opening, followed by Tambaj, followed by Mosoriot, and of course followed by Yeregi.
I must admit that the college, through the Board of Management, has gone out of its way to work around the clock to ensure that we meet the set protocols by the Ministry of Health to allow us to operate or to reopen in September.
Several churches have resumed operations in the city a few days earlier than the government set date. In Mathare, several churches reopened while observing social distancing. On the other hand, the turnout was quite low following the guidelines for 100 persons to be allowed to attend or to be part of the congregation. Many say they fear the spread of the virus and will stick to praying at home and streaming services online. Although President Uhuru Kenyatta has given the green light for places of worship to reopen, some churches and mosques have opted to remain closed because implementing the government guidelines will not be practical. Many other places of worship are still waiting for the 14th of July to be able to give their official statement as to whether or not they will reopen. To another subject matter that has been dominating headlines and conversation, and as the country continues to record increasing numbers of defilement cases and teen pregnancies, focus is now shifting to specific areas that have spikes in numbers, such as Molo. Kurosoi North Sub-County has so far recorded 57 cases of pregnant schoolgirls between Standard 8 and Form 4. The girls are aged between 14 and 19 years of age. 26 out of those 57 are defilement cases, while in Molo, 40 girls were recorded to be pregnant. Deputy Commissioner Felix Watakila has issued a stern warning to those defiling and forcefully marrying school-going girls.
We are here just to show the teen moms that is not the end. Kuteleza si kuanguka. Na safari bado ni refu because they are very young, they are hopeful.
Tutakubali kuona wanaume au vijana kuhujumu polisi ya serikali ambayo inasema kwamba kila mtoto wa Kenya apate nafasi, msichana kwa fulana kuenda shule ili apate elimu, ndio siku za usoni watakuja kuchangia katika maendeleo na uchumi wa nchi hii.
All right, we take a break on that note, but we will be back with more news after that.
Welcome to the Cynics Android TV launch.
It is elegant. Angalia your design, exclusive. Oh, wow. You don't even have to put a wall bracket.
Yes, these promotions will be running from the 15th to the 21st of July.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Blueband margarine. New look, same great taste.
Oh my, oh my, oh my days. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Never understood. Never understood. Life can be this good.
Thank you for staying with us on NTV at 1. Migori County continues to mourn the death of Ohangla musician Lady Maureen, who passed on yesterday while recuperating at her cousin's home in Uriri. And although many leaders, including Raila Odinga, have sent their condolences to her family, her fans have accused the leaders of being insincere. And that's because they claim they abandoned her in her time of need. Bernardo Juang will be joining us shortly. with that update. But until then, a 62-year-old trader who was the first confirmed case of COVID-19 in Isiolo County has sued the county government for taking pictures of him while he was sick in hospital and distributing them on social media without his permission. The businessman argues that due to the breach of privacy, he has faced immense stigma and massive losses in his business.
Osman Sharif was the first person to test positive for COVID-19 in Isiolo County. Sharif claims his personal details, which include photo and ID number, were leaked on social media, causing him and his family emotional torture.
Na pia nalalamika kwa county government kwa sababu hiyo madaktari nilipigwa hiyo picha ilikuwa sijui, wakasambaza picha yangu kwa internet, kwa WhatsApp na kwa social media.
Sharif has now fully recovered from the disease but says he's not living in peace.
Hata nikitembea ndani ya Isiolo, watu wote wanasema ile mzee corona ndio hii, mzee corona ndio hii. Hata nikienda kwa lodging, watu wengine wakikuja kwa lodging wanasema lodging imejaa kwa ajili ya kuogopa. Kwa hiyo kitu ilinisumbua sana. Hata kulikuwa na msichana yangu amesafiri kutoka hapa tarehe 8, alikuwa anaelekea Garbatula. Alipofika Maua, aliambiwa hii ni ile family ya corona. Msichana yangu karibu kupigwa huko na kuuawa. Kwa bahati mzuri aliokolewa na rafiki yangu moja, akamchukua kutoka huko akamrudisha paka hapa Isiolo.
Sharif operates a wholesale shop in Garbatula town and also owns a number of buses that ply the Garbatula Maua route.
Watu walikatata kufuata gari yangu kwa mwezi mmoja, hakuwa kifanya kazi. Watu wote wakiona wanatoroka, wanasema hii mzee akona corona na hii gari ni yake. Gari yangu ngine anapeleka mizigo hapa Kula Mawe, ikipeleka mizigo inarudi bila kununuliwa. Hata watu ile yangu customer yangu ile mimi nauzia wa chakula kwa wanunulie chakula.
Osman Sharif has now resolved to sue the county government for the emotional distress caused by the health workers at the hospital he was admitted in. In his suit, he is demanding damages amounting to 25 million shillings from the county government.
Mimi niko na mpango ya kupeleka county government kotini. Hata nimetayarisha wakili yangu ako Nairobi, anatayarisha kuandika barua na kutuma barua kwa county government.
Makosa kubwa ilitokea hapo, vile mzee walipiga picha na nini. Hiyo ilikuwa nidhamu mbaya. Na mimi nasimama hapa kusema pole kwa familia, kwa Osman Sharif na familia yake na kila mtu yake. Mimi naomba msamaha kwa sababu hiyo sio kitu inapaswa kutendeka. Hiyo sio, hakuna makosa yako naye. Mgonjwa inatokea kwa kila mtu.
Sharif has also pleaded with members of the public to desist from stigmatizing patients of COVID-19 since it is an illness like any other.
Bomet Governor Hilary Barachok has appealed to members of the public to be more cautious and continue to adhere to the COVID-19 measures, especially with the lifting of cessation of movement orders. This follows a confirmed positive case in the county in a person who had traveled from Nairobi after the orders were lifted. The county has now embarked on contact tracing for all passengers who were in the matatu the patient traveled in and has also isolated more than 80 members of the patient's family as a move to ensure that the county achieves the 300-bed capacity directive by the president to cater for COVID-19 patients. The county health facility at Koiwa Sub-County Hospital is under construction to expand it to a 200-bed capacity COVID-19 isolation wing.
Individual travel from Nairobi with other passengers using a matatu belonging to South Rift Sacco, and they started traveling at around 5:20, 5:30 in the morning, arriving in Bomet around 9. Wish to appeal to all the persons who have been identified to be positive not to travel. If you have confirmed that you are positive, please don't travel until you are declared free of coronavirus.
The Kenya Wildlife Service proposal to fence off the Nairobi National Park in 4 phases has been met with opposition by locals who claim to be stakeholders of the land and the resources therein. Mavoko Member of Parliament Patrick Makau claims that the multi-million shilling project may be a well-orchestrated scheme by powerful people to grab the prime land.
Domestic animals belonging to the residents of Mpakasi area that neighbors the Nairobi National Park and wild animals in the park seem to have been coexisting for generations. The situation may not be ideal, and at times the residents have suffered losses as a result.
When you fence us tuingie ndani, sasa simba na ng'ombe yetu ikuwe kitu moja, si ndio? Wakikula tutakuwa tunalipo. Kama halipi sasa watalipa tukifenziwa nacho.
While the proposal to fence off the park may sound like a reasonable idea, it is difficult to separate which land is part of the park and which one is considered ancestral land, and so convincing the residents will not be an easy task. Their leaders are suspicious of the intention of government.
Kama idea yao ni sheep and goat, wawaambie wanataka hiyo shamba. Bila kwenda nyuma ya kusema fencing. Hii mnanielewa? Lazima tuongee ukweli. Na alafu after a few days uone hoteli imeanza kutokea hapa. Tumepamba na bado tutapamba.
3 consultative meetings with the locals have been aborted on account of what is termed as hostility from the community. Nairobi National Park Senior Warden Joseph Dacha had a hard time explaining the project, seeking support from the natives.
Iko phase 4 ya fencing. Phase 1 kuanzia upande wa Masilage, not Masilage upande ya Diguna, ikikuja hivi mpaka kuja kumalizia sheep and goat.
KWS maintains that the locals will be allowed to graze their animals within the park, even after the fencing project is completed. Charity Mwangi, NTV.
Kenya has won a case in which While Energy, a company headquartered in Canada, was seeking about 37 billion shillings in compensation for a cancelled geothermal exploration contract. While Energy filed the case at the International Centre for Settlement of Investment Disputes in February of 2015, seeking to have the geothermal resources license it received in 2007 reinstated. The license granted While exclusive rights to explore, drill for, extract, produce and dispose geothermal steam and other geothermal resources in the Suswa area for a period of 30 years. The Kenyan government, however, revoked the license in October of 2012 after establishing that While Energy did not have the capacity to execute the contract. While is set to pay Kenya 97 million shillings in legal fees and costs of arbitration. A police officer is nursing injuries at the Mombasa hospital after he was attacked by members of the public in Kibokoni, Mombasa County, on Friday for allegedly harassing someone for not wearing a mask. Residents complained that the officer has been conducting patrols to collect bribes from people for not putting on face masks.
The police officer laying on the floor circulated on social media. He was attacked for allegedly collecting bribes from people who were not wearing masks. But according to Stephen Kaduri, who is the county AP commander, the officer was attacked while going to buy fish at a nearby butchery.
He's attacked to Tononoka dispensary as a technician, where he spends the whole of the day. The number of the youth who attacked him were about 8. They attacked him, they beat him. In fact, they used even a knife to cut his short. They stabbed him at the back and beat him on the forehead, where he sustained some cuts. When he found that now this is serious, he decided to run away. But as he could run, they shouted, "Thief, thief, thief." Other members of the public came across and they attacked him.
The Mombasa cop Gerard Sumba is now admitted at the Coast General Hospital after he sustained injuries during the attack. Members of the public have been urged not to take law into their hands.
Katika swala la polisi kunao wengine ambao wanavunja sheria, lakini katika situation zote tunaomba ya kwamba sheria iweze kudumishwa na yoyote ambaye anavunja sheria, whether ni polisi ama ni mwananchi, anachukuliwa hatua za kisheria, sio kumpiga.
Investigations are ongoing to arrest the suspects. Fatma Bugu, NTV, Mombasa County.
U.S. Ambassador to Kenya, Kyle McCarter, believes that the free trade agreement that Kenya is negotiating with the United States of America will be a game changer when it comes to boosting economic growth. Kenya aims to have the negotiations concluded within 1 year and, if successful, will become only the second country after Morocco to have an FTA with the U.S. McCarter was speaking during a visit to Murang'a County.
The free trade agreement that we've talked about is going to translate into prosperity for the Wananchi. And it's going to translate into self-reliance for Kenyans, because Kenyans deserve self-reliance. They deserve freedom, and we're going to enjoy that together, and we're going to succeed together.
I know that is the best way for us to develop as a poor country. With this free trade area, Kenya will now stop pivoting towards China. It will now pivot to the US. And we shall all be rich, we shall all be prosperous, just like Singapore did by pivoting towards China. And therefore, I endorse free trade area, which is being discussed.
Alcohol consumption and drug abuse has led to increased mental illness in the country. Speaking during his visit at the Murang'a County Farmers Training Center, Kambirwa, NACADA CEO Victor Okioma said 95% of rehabilitation centers across the country are privately run, making them costly for many Kenyans. Nuru Abdulaziz reports.
This is the Farmers Training Center Kambirwa in Murang'a County. It is expected to be converted into a rehabilitation center where NACADA will partner with Murang'a County government.
Big place if you are having...
Speaking during his tour at the training center, NACADA CEO Victor Okioma said of the 18% cases of drug abuse around the country, 12.2% abuse alcohol, adding that central Kenya is leading with cases of mental illness as a result of alcohol consumption.
We are appealing to the county government to try and exercise judiciously the licensing function so that they can limit accessibility and availability of alcohol, including determining what time you open bars. Now, under the COVID arrangement, and I think the county commissioner should be able to talk about that, we don't expect bars to be open. Others have shifted the bars to their own houses.
You can't go to each and every house trying to monitor and prefect what they are doing. So it's up to the community leaders to join hands and ensure that when the minister says, I have not opened bars, it's my business.
Okioma said 95% of rehabilitation centers across the country are privately run, making them costly for many Kenyans.
I think about 7.8% of our children in secondary schools are abusing drugs. That tells you that we have a serious problem. They are comparing very well with the general population.
And when young people are told that bank will make them mad, they think it's a joke. Any person who takes bank as a drug below the age of 21, by the time they are 30 years, they will go mad.
The Anti-Drugs Agency also raised alarm over the mushrooming of illegal rehabilitation centers. The CEO said over 60% of the centers were only keen to make money. He said they had started the process of closing illegal rehabilitation centers. Okioma asked governors to invest in rehabilitation strategies to help residents struggling with addiction. Nuru Abdulaziz, NTV.
The Kerio Valley Development Authority has started a project that seeks to increase the forest cover in the country and also improve nutrition more so in the arid and semi-arid areas. This project kicked off with a tree planting ceremony at the St. Elizabeth Girls, where the organization donated over 200 seedlings of fruit trees and indigenous trees. The event was attended by the West Pokot County Health and Sanitation Chief Officer Musa Anupa, who urged members of the public to embrace a tree planting culture in order to stamp out deforestation. Also present was his environment and forestry counterpart, who cautioned residents against cultivating in riparian lands. Over 500 elderly, less fortunate and physically disabled people from Kangundo East Ward in Machakos County have benefited from food donations to cushion them during this COVID-19 pandemic. One of the beneficiaries, Esther Kavuli, has said that many of them were dependent on the children who have either been retrenched or were locked out due to travel restrictions. Although the government has designed a program to send packages to the vulnerable and the elderly, many of the intended beneficiaries claim that the food donations from the government have not reached them. Kangundo East MCA Grace Munini has called upon area leaders to join hands and provide a helping hand to the communities. I did mention earlier that we will be joined by Bernard Ojwang, who brings us an update following the demise of Lady Maureen, as her family receives condolences from the well-off in society, including Raila Odinga. There are those who've accused those in prominent positions of having ignored her plight when she was alive. Bernard, what informs those sentiments?
Olive, indeed, hundreds thousands of people who loved Benga and also who love Ohangla are still mourning the demise of Ohangla Queen, Lady Maureen, who passed on yesterday. Remember, this is a lady who started her career in music back in early 90s when she joined Jolly Boys Band that was headed by by Prince Julie, and currently also being headed by Princess Julie. And we managed to visit the home, and they were saying that they're appealing to those friends, close friends, especially leaders whom Lady Maureen sang praise in her songs, at least to come in large number, at least to support them, give the departed songster a decent send-off. And of course, they are saying that what devastated many, and according to them, maybe some of the fans, they were saying some of the politicians whom Lady Maureen sang really gave Lady Maureen their back. They never wanted to support the lady, and they are saying that it is the right time now. They should come up in large number, at least support the family, give the lady a decent send-off as they still mourn. Back to you.
Thank you, Bernard. Time now for the sports news. And Raheem Sterling scored his third hat-trick of the season as Manchester City swept Brighton aside to ensure they will finish in second place in the English Premier League. Sterling, who now has 27 goals in all competitions for City this season, inflicted most of the damage on a Brighton side who never managed to make the game a contest. Gabriel Jesus and Bernardo Silva scored the other two goals. City, who had lost their last 3 away league games, are now on 72 points, while Brighton are 15th with 36 points. Meanwhile, Chelsea's Champions League hopes hang on by a thread after a 3-0 humiliation by Sheffield United. The race for top is wide open with 2 points between third-place Chelsea and Manchester United in 5th. The Red Devils with a game in hand. In the highlight of Sunday's 4 games, 10th place Tottenham host Arsenal in 8th. Barcelona moved within a point of leaders Real Madrid at the top of the La Liga with a narrow win at Real Valladolid. Arturo Vidal scored the only goal with a low effort into the bottom left corner from Lionel Messi's pass. The hosts had chances to level but were denied by poor finishing. In other results, Atletico Madrid edged Real Betis 1-0 and Osasuna got a 2-1 home win over Celta Vigo.
Where there's no space. Arturo Vidal making the right.
Well, that's it for NTV at 1. My name is Olive Burrows. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon.
This is NTV.
I help women find independence by training them in fish farming. It's tough on my back, joints, and can cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Group and margarine. New look, same great taste.
When the world changed, it made us go back to the simple joys and love the little things even more. Like serving up your best, eating together, and sharing more. Now, we'll take nothing for granted and always remember to taste the simple joys. Coca-Cola. Taste the simple joys.
Breaking news from Molfix. Let's see what they're developing right now.
Molfix pants with anatomic fit technology. New Molfix pants, an invention from babies for babies.
You should also try Molfix.
This week, on to Zirina Hustle.
I only came to discover at the end of the month that he was being paid 200,000, and she only saw I was worth being paid 2,000 bob. The normal makeup is basically just enhancing someone's beauty. We are not changing anything, but then special effects makeup, we are literally changing you, like making you from young to old.
What is the biggest project you've done so far?
Black Panther.
Wow.
Get an 8-acre prime residential plot with soil merchants in Kisamis along Magadi Road at 148,000 Kenya shillings for cash buyers or 195,000 Kenya shillings for installment buyers. SMS plot to 21595.
To get One Night Stand by Ibra featuring Harmonize, dial star 811 star 935 hash. To get Dodo by Ali Kiba, dial star 811 star 927 hash. To get Usinipite by Guardian Angel, dial star 811 star 932 hash. Skiza na Nation.
Africa is now being looked at as the next frontier for innovation in the drone industry. We're in Karongi, in Western Province, in Rwanda, to see what the possibilities are within the industry and what kind of conversations are happening on the same.
This is Lagos, the heart of Nigeria's multi-million-dollar creative industry. I am here to find out how some entertainers are moving from the screens to the boardroom.
Get an 8-acre prime residential plot with soil merchants in Kisamis along Magadi Road at 148,000 Kenya shillings for cash buyers or 195,000 Kenya shillings for installment buyers. SMS plot to 21595.
Do you need to send your parcel or document during this period? The Nation Courier Services, with over 15 years of distribution experience, will deliver it for you. We deliver to every corner of Kenya. Due to our strong distribution network, have overnight door-to-door service and same-day intra-city service with the security and safety of the client's shipment guaranteed. Your parcel is our priority. We'll deliver it for you. Contact us for delivery on courierservices@ke.nationmedia.com or call 0719 038 739.
Cleft lip and palate is among the most common birth defects in the world, and in Kenya actually approximately 1 out of every 700 children born has this deformity. Some people live a life of stigma and others with the complications.
Mimi nilikuwa namficha, naenda nyumbani. Bwana ni yeye sasa. Amekuinukia ile mbaya. Akaniambia patie huyu mtoto sumu tumue.
We focus on this deformity and understand exactly what it is and the help that is needed.
Enjoy the naturally appealing taste of our unique fruit blends. Represent who you naturally are with Juice Drink. Naturally ours with no added preservatives. A quality product from Bidco Africa.
Nairobi City has experienced a tremendous transformation in water provision as part of the war against the spread of coronavirus.
Tangu hii tanki letu hapa nyuma yangu nimefaidika sana.
93 boreholes in 3 months.
We had quick interventions.
We had water drilled, sunk, running out in a record 2 weeks.
We have over 14 million liters per day that has been brought into the informal settlements.
Find out what this means to livelihoods and the war against the COVID-19 pandemic. A Champs Media production this Sunday at 6:40 p.m. on NTV.
NTV, turning on your world. The following program has been rated PG. It may contain scenes unsuitable for children under the age of 10.
All right, so as usual, the hashtag is DTTT at the Trend Live on Twitter as we get to meet our panelists. Hello, Butita. Hello, Zadi Mate.
Hello.
How are you guys?
Hey. Tunapenda suti yako, tunapenda suti yako.
Ai, yani leo watu wamenichocha.
Today you have pierced. Leo umedunga kudunga.
I cannot.
You are flowered nicely.
Thank you. Thank you. I have so many jokes about that.
She has injected.
Let me not go to that. Let me not go to that side. Mato, I see you starting. You're going to be part of a film, by the way.
Yes, I am. Walichagua picha imechoma, lakini whomst am I to complain? When the picha walichagua, it's okay. Sarah Hassan, wherever you are, I see you. That's the photo. It's a film by Sarah Hassan and Lola Day.
Yeah.
An amazing film called Just in Time. It has Pierre McKenna, Stellar cast. Ile siku interview tutakuja tuketi.
Nice.
Uniweke mahali hata kama nikupita huko nyuma.
Butita, first of all, what in the Natalie Tewa, what's that handbag that I'm seeing you keep to work with?
No, stop. No. I was just having a private affair.
Yeah,
I'm heading somewhere. I'm going to visit, naenda kuona baba, mzazi, baada ya hapa, so just preparing my way. This is a private affair.
Is that your bag?
Whatever happens here, ignore the rumors.
Hide my identity. No, but for real though, where is so that's your bag. That's what you want us to believe.
No, I'll not tell you. Watch out to guess. No.
Okay.
Sitaki maneno. No.
Okay.
And please, no VAR.
Please guess.
Don't quote people and say that hii bag ni yao. No.
All right. Ama ni ya nani lakini?
No, hii ni ya Mchinese. Ni ya Mchinese fulani. Ni ya Mchinese fulani. No.
Amina.
Yes, Mato.
Amina.
Yes.
Iyo bag ukiondoa hapo. Butita.
Hii material ni origi. Inaitwa ni number 1 premium leather 001. Unacheki 001 leather.
So okay, yeah. I like that. So at the end of the show you're going to take pictures with all of the female camera.
Actually wewe ndakupatie bag ushike tupigwe picha na wewe hapa.
Oh,
Sitaki rumors. Hii bag ni Amina.
Anyway, listen, guess whose handbag that is. But listen, are you living in a house, Butita, or a room, or according to netizen Joanne Kubai, got Kenyans asking themselves whether, I don't know, have we been living all this time or we've just been existing? And many other questions that came up after giving us this virtual tour of her parents' house, the tour which detailed the many-roomed house, a lift inside the house, the lavish compound, and even flashy cars got Kenyans re-evaluating their lives and their dreams. You have to say, though, you have to admit, sometimes lazima tu kubali, it was a beautiful house, sindio?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
There you go. Shout out to Joanne and everyone else who lives this life. Hey, man.
The one thing that I felt good about when I was watching this was that she was giving us a tour of her parents' house.
You can say whatever you want to say,
Mato.
Ngoja, cheki, sikia.
Wewe uende ushago fanye nini?
Umeweza. Unajua ile depression ningekuwa ninaingia kama huyu ni mtoto ananionyesha nyumba yake.
But wako wengi sana.
But unacheki mimi unajua mimi nakuwa nimeaccept. Amina. Mimi kwa nimeaccept Nairobi ati ikifika jioni kuna wase huenda home na kuna wase huenda kujificha. So kama sasa mimi bali atoka si huenda kujificha ikifika jioni. Unacheki? Kama hao yako lazima utilt camera ndio tuione vizuri. Wewe unaishi home. Lakini kama nyumba yako na selfie inaonekana yote, wewe unajificha. So be proud, I'm proud pali najificha.
Ama boomerang.
Joanne alionyesha hao yao, sawa.
Ilichukua so long, I didn't finish the video.
Ni sawa, mimi sikuwa na noma na hiyo video. Ni sawa tu. Wacha wajibambe ni mali yao. Pia si tukifika hapo, huenda tukaposti. Wako na link kwa Kenya. Mimi unajua ni
home. Watu kuna watu sema I'm going home. Kuna watu husema I'm going to my place.
My place,
so sana
home.
Nakaa to my place.
Alafu kuna home na kuna keja. Hizo pia ni vitu mbili tofauti. Huwezi kuwa hiyo si keja, that's a home. Keja.
What? It's just
keja ni mahali ukitoa kiatu kwa bedroom inafika kwa sitting room. Ama
lakini
ukisema bedroom
unaweza baba yake ni nani? Tumemgoogle,
mimi unajua mimi ushindwa. Mimi kwa hiyo bed sitter yangu nashindwaga. Juu stories zote ni bedtime stories. Dukeja lazima i-accommodate tu vitu. Manzi hata huwezi tembea manzi. Unaweza gonga ndoo ianguke kwa sufuria imwagike kitanda igeuke, dirisha ivunjike. Like
sahani ujipata kwa sufuria ya githeri.
Manzi hao lazima iko intact. Hata avocado ikianguka ni crisis. Inatega meza inaangukia TV inaungua, majirani wanakuwa na hasara. God bless me. I need a home.
Today you people have made me laugh. Wow. Oh my days.
Kwanza kuna ingine nilikuwa naishiki hapo Kariobangi.
Yeah.
Naibaki akieka news unaisikia ukiwa home. Sasa unataka kusikia news naibana una vitu zake. Yaani hiyo si ujamaa hiyo.
Na huko kila mtu ako na TV yao.
Hadi naibaki kata kitunguu kwake unatoa machozi kwako.
But it has stop.
Saa nyingine unafukuzwa kwa nyumba na mtu ameharibu hewa kwa nyumba nyingine.
Ili true story by the way. This is joke, ili true story. Mimi nakumbuka pale tulikuwa tukiishi place inaitwa Majengo pale Thika wakati tulihamia Thika mara ya kwanza. Neighbor alikuwa anacheza video game, TV za nyumba ya kila mtu zinaona hiyo video game.
Super Mario. Super Mario.
Inaona video game.
Oh my god.
Ile video game zile za kuwekelea juu, zile za kutandika hivi na kushoot magani na kucheza na mabasi.
Ilikuwa Contra.
What? Ati mtu anakufukuza butita nani?
Wateli Joala.
Umepitia mambo. But
maybe baba yake alikapitia. Mimi sina noma nao, acha wajibambe.
Yeah. But Mato, sometimes you wonder if you
baba yake
atumpati
Wakenya walinibamba Amina.
No, but sometimes yani unashindwa if you started also at that level in your life, how far would you go? You know what I mean? And it's just like
unaweza kuwa natoka nje daily usiku. Ili keja yangu.
Mutita. Unaita wase.
Unajua vile unaona mse wa majua ameka keja alafu wasa wanaandika nice house. Kenya ukiweka keja unaonanga comments tu. Huyu ogopi wezi. KRA mko wapi? DCI.
Wash sijui nini. It's so true.
Hiyo ni hoteli gani?
It is so true. Anyway, now
kuna dosi hapa. Kuna mse hata kuna police station kwa keja nyie mjua.
Nyumba yao. Umeona wale wase wenye wako na hizo nini? You know they said people are making their own sort of like not hospitals, but they have their own beds. They're getting prepared for corona. Pesa. Anyway, now it is
kitu interesting. Udem yes, ni humble. So far from zile comments nilikuwa nakicheki watu wanasema Udem amecheza chini. Kuna watu kama Butita wangekuwa na hiyo pesa wakigrow up. My friend angekuwa light skin sana.
Bro, kama simu mpya tunajiflash mchana mzima. Kama simu mpya tunajiflash mchana yote.
Watu walali Instagram.
Unajua imeandikwa kwa kitabu, when you are blessed, show people your blessings so that they can know the God that you are serving.
Is a real God. A living, existing God. Hallelujah.
Be proud of what you have. Kuna mtu anatamani kukuwa na ile uko nayo pato.
We need to talk about this. It is a season of people actualizing musical lyrics because now in Taita Taveta, agencies tasked with the development of the area decided that, wasio tupenda tutawaposti. This happened when the agency building the road couldn't agree with that connecting electricity leading to an electricity post being left dead in the middle of the road. I mean, what are the residents supposed to do? I don't understand. It's just... Manze, in the middle of the road. Ebuyo. Butita.
Unajua hii kitu nishaona mara ya kwanza ikihappen pale Rosa. Kuna pole ilikapo hivyo for the longest time. Rosa mbo hapo kwa hiyo roundabout hiyo kubwa. For the longest time that pole was there. Na sikuwa understand kwa nini. Kumbe ni vita katikati ya macontractor na Kenya.
Ni ego, pride.
Kuna mtu anataka kulambishwa kitu ndio akubali. Na watu contractor mazee amepewa contract ya 5 million lakini 4 million imeenda kwa wakubwa. Atatoa tena 100,000 kutoka kwa 1 million yake. Ai, ngumu.
I don't understand how they couldn't agree. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's so...
Mimi nilikuwa nataka kuongelea hiyo story online lakini sijui mbona story ya stima nikiongelelea tu watu wanaanza wewe ndio giza nyamaza. Like really people, stima kipotea have nothing to do with that. Like there is no relation between Butita and the electricity company bado.
If you're a parent wishing that you would be able to withdraw the school fees that you had paid this year after the Education CS declared the academic year 2020 null and void, well, you will be a beneficiary of heri nusu shari kuliko shari kamili, after CS Magoha said that those who had paid the full fee will be refunded next year for the second and third terms that their children will not be in school. Mato, how do you feel about the story?
No, first of all,
okay,
we are in different worlds. Shule zilifungwa March.
Yeah.
So it was first term, January, February, March. Meaning there was no, watu walikuwa najua hawarudi shule April. Who is this who paid the school fees for second term and third term? Number
Remember
one.
that people, no, but Mato, that people who pay at the beginning of the year, they pay the full fee.
Lakini problems are different. Number two, wale watu ambao walilipwa hizo pesa, poleni. Watu walikula hizo pesa. Na watalaumu corona. Watu wanaumia, watu wanaenda kuumia. Watu wanaenda kuumia vizuri.
Wamembo una refund unairusha kwa next year sasa. Msee akirudi chuo kama ulikuwa umelipwa, I think ikitukaa hiyo. So mimi naona scenario kayo ya Mato ya labda kuna washatumia madoza watu. Watakuwa nafinya ma students sana basi huko kwa chuo.
Of course, there are people who've already, it's like when you're paid a deposit for a gig or something and you eat it and then the gig what happens and they tell you return the money and that time you're just like
kwa gig kuna kitu inaitwa force majeure, act of nature, like
nice.
corona is a force majeure. So I don't know if it applies in the same
natural
situation.
Disaster, I like
natural
that
disaster. But it's good kuna mse labda hiyo doni ya scholarship ama hiyo do labda aliuza kitu ndiye asomeshe mtoi. Mimi nilikuwaga chuo ya Ocha, nilikuwa naona venye wao walikuwa dedicated fee. Unapata wase wananga do lakini fee amelipiwa.
Yeah, the full year. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Sasa wale wase wakulipa fee na commodities ndio kuna shida.
Okay.
Juu unajua inakubalikanga kwa maboarding za huko mashinani.
Yeah.
This is true.
Unaweza peleka mandizi shule ikatu, unaweza peleka maembe huko macha.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. Yeah. Avocado, sindio?
Wana exchange wanaangalianga nini tuna need cash shule. Hakuna haja tunde tununue unga na kuna mzazi yako na mahindi hapa.
na do so chukue unga. Okay, so na Butita, hii story najua ilikujamisha sana kwa sababu miraa, jaba as a consumer or you know people who consume it. Bad news coming your way, okay? So now you cannot work in the presidential escort. Najua hivi ndio ulikuwa unafikiria ati sasa utafikia Ruto. Haifanyiki bro, haifanyiki. So this is after George Kirera, the head of presidential escort, banned the consumption of the substance on his employees, citing health effects to them and their families. Haters, wamesema, oh, this is a new way that the government is making sure that people sleep during the curfew. Butita, what say you?
Mimi kama mtu ambaye hajaionja miraa, I now understand kwa nini gari za escort zinaendanga bio hivyo.
It may make sense. It may make sense.
I now understand. Mbona hizo vitu zinakimbizwa?
It's true.
Unajua ubaya miraa nasikianga inafanyanga unaanza kufanya vitu opposite. Unapata ukitaka kujikuna kichwa na una kofia, unatoa kofia unakuna kichwa. So hiyo vitu kaa hizo.
You mean unatoa kichwa unakuna kofia?
Unapata msee anaenda choo lakini anafungua badala afungue jeans. So ifanya msee anafanya vitu opposite. Na kwa presidential escort hiyo ni mistake hatuwezi taka. Hatuwezi tusikia taka siku moja Karawa naambia gari ingie kwa rais badala rais aingie kwa gari. Hizo ma opposite za miraa haziwezi alawiwa ni drug. Ni example nimesema.
Umestretch.
Inafanyanga unafanya vitu opposite.
Hiyo umestretch, but ni sawa. Ni sawa. Mato. Did you ever have a dream of working?
Nimesoma hiyo release imesema tu ni presidential escort. Siko sure kama makarao wengine pia wako affected cause my friend hiyo ndio inakuaga kazi. The excuse or the reason is to stay awake, to be alert. But there's only so much you can stay awake or be alert without needing sleep because hiyo ndio inatumika ku eliminate sleep. Sasa au kazi sasa kutaendaje man? Utaenda kwa barabara unakuta karao amechiugam. Mtu alikuwa shazoea kuja huku mdomo. Ukikutana naye kwa barabara unaweza shindwa kumjua udhani ni mwizi. Anakusimamisha ni karao. Ulizoea kumuona ameja hapa hivi. Utadhani ni mwizi bana.
Kwanza kuna
hiyo ni identity yake.
Kunawa wanakuanga hapo na ka radio call na miraa kwa.
Yeah, that's true. Inaitwa taxi.
Hapa side hiyo ndio side nini? Hiyo ndio side miraa.
Hey, Butita. I see you with your rebound. You had to try and save it. From that weird joke.
Very nice.
We were like, what were you trying to say?
Wewe kula miraa wewe. Wewe kula miraa utafanya vitu opposite.
As we start this story, I was so surprised when I saw it because I mean, is it that we have not been hit with COVID enough that someone would want to profit from this pandemic? It doesn't make any sense. Langata Hospital was in the middle of controversy this week after investors stormed their premises and found that they were charging patients 5,000 shillings for the COVID-19 test, and thereafter taking samples to be investigated at Kemri, which is a public institution where the test should happen for free. Mato, I know this story particularly upset you. What are your thoughts?
Najua hii Kenya kuna vitu zilienda on a break wakati COVID ilianza. But clearly vitu kama kuna vitu hazikuwa zinafaa ziende on a break kama utu.
Humanity.
Vitu kama humanity, exactly, humanity. That was not supposed to go on a break. And especially when you're profiteering from people's fears, because that's the number one thing that COVID brought to Kenyans, fear. Watu wanauoga. Mtu anakuja anatoa pesa yake kwa mfuko, angalau akonfirmiwe. So apparently the results were real, but they were just not being done at Langata Hospital. That's the issue. So it was collaboration between Langata Hospital and Kemri. So tests zinapelekwa Langata Hospital, zinakimbizwa Kemri, unapata the right results unaletewa. Lakini kuna watu wanakulia hapo katikati. Meaning it would not have cost the amount that they were charging for it.
Yeah, but you see at this time, Mato, people are already struggling as it is. This is not the time for you to look how you can make a quick buck.
You're wrong,
especially in health. You know, when you go see the doctor and he convinces you that you do need to get that MRI, you need to get this surgery, you need to get that, and they're telling you you could die, there's a possibility that you could lose your life. Daktari amesema, daktari ndo anajua. So then when when you take advantage of people's, despair and desperation, I don't know, you're right. Utu iko wapi?
I saw this and I remember a quote. There's a friend of mine called Kennedy Crazy, was a good quote. People before profits. People before profits. Like we should live a life of putting people first.
It should be
before profits.
It's not how it is, but it should be.
It should be people before profits.
Muhimu sana. Kweli kabisa.
Think of people first.
Yeah. All right. Well, now there is two MPs. Let me. Now, Kapseret MP, Oscar Sudi, this is, as in when I saw it, it's just very interesting. Now, it looks like it's not only in crime where people are paid for their silence. This became apparent after Mzalendo Trust, which is a parliamentary monitoring organization, raised concerns that two members of parliament, Kapseret MP Oscar Sudi and his Nakuru Town West counterpart, Samuel Arama, have made zero contributions in the National Assembly since, get this, 2017. The big question here remains, is there a way, you know, someone can represent their constituents but in silence?
Mse alianza kuvaa mask kitambo.
Nakumbuka story tukiongelea bado last year. I think there's at some point last year we talked about this, you know, members of parliament walienda, well, they were elected to go and make noise. Now, well, you'd assume that because clearly legislation is all about noise. You know, bado si get, honestly bado si get.
From 2017, that's a long time. You want to tell me there has been nothing pressing from your area that yani imekuasha tu once, yani something has happened, it's a huge tragedy, no one else is talking about it. You what?
Niju sisi badala tuchague watu wata leta bills, tunachagua watu wanaenda kulipa bills.
Nice.
So inakuwa different sana. Make wise decisions.
Poetic
I
justice.
feel like a spoken word artist.
You really sounded like one. Let me just tell you. Mato, yes, go ahead before we wrap up.
Ni kelele ina gani ambayo ideally mtu ana, cause ni kelele tu, mtu kuongea tu, hiyo ndio
at least kuchangia
metric
anything.
So mtu akisema yes, I agree, or no, I oppose, that's it.
At least hiyo inaonyesha kuna contribution fulani umeleta kwa kitu, unacheki.
No, but you're all there to represent your constituents.
You are a lawmaker and
Mato, huwezi, no, Butita huwezi kuniongelelea. Mi sasa sinkiana labda nitauzungumzia Marsabit. Right? So Marsabit, now we're talking about insecurity. You know, we have people who are dying from hunger. We have different issues. So now you, if you're talking about maybe Kisii, maybe you can talk about teenage pregnancy or I don't know what. So you just can't tell me for all these years,
that there are no issues in your constituency. This is true actually. Hapo wanaangusha watu.
Sana. Anyway, but thank you so much, you guys. All right, so final comments. Butita?
Final. Bye.
Who's the bag? Who's the bag?
The bag. No, kwa hizo vitu zote kitu imeniumiza ni mtu amesema ni Akodhe. It's okay. You're allowed.
Why? Kwa nini imekuumiza?
You're allowed to think freely.
Akodhe can own you, bro. What do you mean?
Hajaniumiza. Imeniumiza kwa sababu Akodhe cannot own something cheap like this.
Okay, that's a nice save. I like that. Mato?
Me, to be honest, I think I know who that bag belongs to.
Oh, he said Mamitos! There you go! Nice, Mato. I like that.